Hello. I think this should now be live. So if anybody can give us a quick thumbs up or a comment just to let us know that this is live. I could see that there was loads of people waiting. Thank you for joining us. We are slightly nervous about this being the first live stream, aren't we?
I don't know why you decided to do it.
I don't know. But hopefully this is going to be helpful for you. This hopefully is going to be a really good Q&A. If you've got any questions and things, please just pop them in the chat. We'll do our best to answer them honestly, and we'll let you know. We've got a small heater on in here because it is about 6 degrees
It's
outside.
a bit chilly.
It's a bit chilly. So if Sarah's shivering, that's...
I've also brought along my hot water bottle.
So I'll just switch that heater off. So yeah, if you can hear us first of all, because we've got a new mic that we're just trying for this as well. Hopefully you can hear us okay. If you can, please just pop something in the chat, make us realize that it's all okay and it's working. Hopefully it is. Hey! Thank you, Fiona, for giving us a thumbs up. That's good. And looking and sounding good.
Hey.
We did try this in the house a couple of days ago just to make sure it all worked. And what we found, there's a bit of a lag. So if we're saying something and you comment or you ask us a question and things, don't worry. It won't be that we've missed it. It just takes a few seconds just to come up and we can see it on the screen. I've got my laptop down here. So the reason I keep looking down is we've got a laptop on a little stool here. So we're having a look at the comments and everything else. So fantastic. And everybody can hear us. So thank you very much for everything, really. We've just been completely blown away by the support from everybody. And at the weekend, we hit 2,000 subscribers, didn't we? We just could not believe it. It really was quite unbelievable. We just, yeah, absolutely stunning. And it really spurs us on to do more, actually. Because when we started out with the channel, we just had no idea how it was going to go. We had a T6 before, and when we ordered this one, we thought, actually, we've got an opportunity to kind of do a bit of videoing when we pick it up and things. And that turned into, well, should we kind of give it a go and have a bit of a hobby and things?
Well, I think the first thing, it was the isotop, because we both decided that we wanted to have the isotop, and Will was desperately sort of hunting around on the internet to find some instructions. And we'd heard from, well, basically most that we'd heard was it's a nightmare. Prepare yourselves for the worst.
It's gonna be
basically, it's kind of one of those divorce in a bag kind of things. And we thought, well, let's just film it then, actually, and see how we get on. And
yeah, and you got me sweating, crawling around upstairs for our very first video. So that was pleasant for everybody. So apologies for that. Hopefully the quality has got better and there's been slightly less sweat since then.
Substantially less, to the point we're shivering tonight.
Yeah. So yeah. Now you'd think we'd have had a drink before this, wouldn't you, just to calm our nerves and things. You could have done, but you haven't. I can't because I'm actually on call for work. So
really well planned.
Apologies. I have got my phone sat at the side of me here. It's rare, so hopefully that's not going to go off. If it does, and I suddenly exit, that'll be.
And hope he doesn't take the tripod with him at the same time as he exits.
I think it should be fine.
Yeah,
but it could be a comedy moment. Who knows?
Could.
I just blown away by all the support. Really are. A couple of things we just wanted to say just before we get cracking. I can see there's a few questions and things already, so I will get to those in a sec. So big shout out to Lucy Godfrey, who is the winner from our Rocking the Van video. Apologies for that. I know that some of you really like that kind of stuff and some don't, but that's life, isn't it? We all like different things.
We were just bored at the ferry terminal.
Very bored. We have had a go with both of us rocking together, and you can beat that half a degree or whatever it was I managed to get. So you definitely doable if you really try. And yeah, Lucy was the first person to get all of the locations right. So well done.
The location.
Sorry, the location.
The location.
Yeah. So really good. Well done.
That's your prize. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. Right, let's have a quick look through these comments and see what we've got in here then. So
you got the oil sorted. Yes, yeah. I'm very glad we got the oil sorted as well.
What a saga that was.
Debacle.
Yeah, and we've not we've not had the light come back on again after setting it on halfway on the dipstick and things. That's all good. And I think it's just one of those things. I think, although we didn't check the oil when we first got the van, because why would you? It's a new van. You don't go checking all that. Well, I didn't check all that stuff. All I can imagine is that when I spoke to the master tech, he said that when they PDI'd the van, they probably just topped it up as part of the PDI process. Yeah, and it just triggered it. So it was really interesting. I thought the picture of the dipstick he sent me, which was on a crafter that he was doing that day, and it literally come from the compound straight to his dealership, sent me a picture of the dipstick, and it was bang on halfway on the dipstick, and he said, well, that's how they all should be, basically. So it's just one of those things, isn't it? It's on half now or near half, and problem solved.
No problems yet.
Yeah, seems okay.
Have you got any more trips planned for the winter? Yes.
Yes.
Funnily enough, I just this evening had a confirmation that we can book a site. It's down near Salisbury. I think it's just to the west of Salisbury, just a couple of nights in December. So we thought we'd pop down there for the Christmas market.
Yeah.
So we've been down to Salisbury before.
Yeah, you realise we're going a week before the Christmas market's on, don't you?
No, it's December. The first weekend that we chose was a week before the Christmas market was.
Oh, right.
And then
okay.
we put it back.
It is,
so it is when the Christmas market is now on. Because we were being a little bit previous before. But we've been down to Salisbury before in the winter and stayed at the Stonehenge campsite about 3 years ago in January it was. And it was really lovely, actually.
That's the one that Abab had on their video, wasn't it? Where they got a little campervan pitch.
Yeah.
So yeah, that really nice little site actually, and a good pub to walk to. You go through a bit of a very dark forest.
Very dark. Take a torch or multiple torches if you're going in winter.
Because there is a couple of brooks and things that you go over on bridges, isn't there? If you take the wrong turning and it's pitch black, you'll end up walking through the brook. But yeah, good site, that really good site. But that's not where we're going.
That's not where we're going because we wanted to try a different one. And
this
was
Coombe Caravan Park or something
like that. It's one that's open all year round that we picked up in the newest edition of Campervan magazine. Yeah.
There's an article on, I think they've got 10 or 12 different all year round campsites all over the country, which is all over the UK, which is good to pick up and have a look at, actually. Yeah,
so we thought we'd give that one a go.
Yeah,
look quite nice. Got a little shop on site and a bakery apparently.
So we'll probably have to subject you to a video on that, I should think. Won't we? So yeah, we'll do that. Okay, what else have we got on here then? So Isle of Scilly, absolutely right. Oh, what a place! No, we haven't taken the Cali to the Isles of Scilly.
You can't.
Well, you can.
No, you can't.
You can.
Well, I suppose you could get it lifted onto the cargo.
Not in a normal way.
No.
Get it on the Sicilian.
Not doing that.
No, but if you haven't been to the Isles of Scilly, definitely worth a trip. Whether it's a day trip or a few days, absolutely stunning.
If you get even vaguely seasick, though, don't go on the ferry.
What else we got here? Hello from Guernsey. Hello, Guernsey. Now, funny you should say that because we've been to Jersey in our old T6.
Whipsy the First.
And we went on the fast ferry from Poole, went into Guernsey, didn't get off because obviously the fast ferry goes to Guernsey and then it goes to Jersey. And we said, didn't we, at that point, we need to go back, we need to go to Guernsey. And our next door neighbours here, where we live, have got friends in Guernsey, haven't they?
They go there quite a lot.
They go there quite a lot. They were saying how great it is. So we were thinking maybe next year, maybe 5-6 days, get the fast ferry.
Whilst there's still potential for travel restrictions across Europe, I'm a little bit nervous about going, only in terms of Lucy, the dog. She hasn't, she never got a first pet passport, and now we're obviously onto a different regime. And what I don't want to do is spend quite a bit of money sorting it out that she could come abroad and then our plans get pulled. So going to Guernsey seems like a bit of a safer option and beautiful option as well. So
so we're looking forward to that.
Yeah, good.
Alan also asked, so they're looking to purchase a California beach camper and be interested to learn how spacious it is when you sleep in the pop-top roof bed. Well, you can see that we're not the smallest of people.
Thanks.
Well, you're small.
I'm short, but wide.
I didn't say that. I'm tall and wide. So obviously we sleep upstairs, and it's okay, isn't it? It's not super spacious.
It's a small double.
Yeah.
Basically. So I don't know.
It's
You
cozy.
kind of get
It's
used to it.
cozy.
Yeah, it's cozy. You're never
Yeah.
going to get away from each other. And normal size pillows, they are properly wedged next to each other
That's
as
a
a
good way of
good kind
describing it,
of
yeah.
an idea of the width of the bed. So you can just about wedge two normal size pillows
and
in
it kind
next
of
to
creates
each other.
one big single pillow.
Yeah. So if you kind of recreate that on a mattress or floor at home, that kind of gives you a good idea of how
the bed downstairs on the ocean and the coast. So when you've got the kitchen, is slightly smaller than the bed upstairs.
But it actually feels substantially smaller.
Yeah, because it kind of hemmed in with the sides.
Because you've got these big cupboards over this side, and then obviously you've got the side of the van over here. It feels quite a lot more.
Yeah.
Not claustrophobic, because I quite like sleeping down here actually, especially when it's a really sort of blustery, sort of stormy night, and you're sort of all hunkered down and cozy. That's quite nice, really.
So, in terms of the beach, though, downstairs.
Massive.
Wow, massive.
Like Super King kind of territory.
Absolutely massive, yeah. And there's definitely times in here when it's been stormy or whatever, and we've had the roof down and we've slept downstairs, where we just would have loved to have had a beach, because the amount of space you have downstairs with that is just fantastic. So, yeah.
Compromise.
Depends
Compromise is the name of the game.
In all honesty, it depends how big you are, doesn't it? How comfortable it is upstairs.
It does, actually. I mean, when I weighed less, it was more comfortable.
And me.
Yeah. And it obviously easier to climb up there as well when you weigh a bit less.
I mean, it's meant to have 150 kg limit up there. But we've well tested that, because I think together we're more than 150, aren't we? I don't think we're definitely not more than 200.
No.
But we're definitely over 150. So it's fine. We don't bounce around up there, though, do we?
No. Interestingly, I don't know, it feels more secure in the 6.1. I don't know whether that's just because it's not the wooden slats that obviously sort of flex a little bit more, that when one of you moves and the other sort of gets sort of bounced across, the Frolly springs feel a lot more secure in that respect. But that might just be a false sense of security.
Right, should we do a bit of rapid fire then? Any plans for a bike carrier? Yes. We've actually done a video on our bike carrier and the tow bar, so worth having a quick look at the history of the channel. It's a Fuel Easy Fold XT2 is the modern version. Ours is actually a 931.
I don't know. It folds up. I think what this person might be getting at, who was it?
Lizzie.
I think what Lizzie might be getting at is a bike carrier.
On the back.
As in the VW one on the back.
Oh, yeah, I'd love that.
Good tea towel holder.
I'd love that.
Towel dryer. Yeah. Really do fancy one of them. And I really, really want to get one stripped down and have it powder coated in black. Yeah. I think that'd look amazing. But then I think we'd have problems putting our bikes on with using the tow bar carrier, because I think it'd interfere. Yeah,
and we've got a couple of e-bikes, and I'm not sure whether they can go on the carrier on the back.
Do you fancy lifting one up
onto
the back?
No, I don't.
You struggle to lift it up onto the tow bar.
That is true. That's true. Yeah, we'll have to have a think about that, won't we? And see.
That'll be a good video, though. We have got some friends
smashing the back window with an e-bike going through it.
That would be a very bad video.
No,
a good video would be, we've got some friends who have got a T6 with the bike carrier on the back, and we could kind of do a compare and contrast between the two. Yeah.
Pete's asking us about he's got a Cali Ocean on order.
Hey.
Stuff. Fantastic. It's going to feel like a long wait. Yeah, it certainly does. Do you get a really good night's sleep in there? And which bed do you find more comfortable?
Okay. Well, definitely the upstairs bed. Find more comfortable.
Those Frolly spring things.
Yeah. Particularly with the Cedar Summit mattress on top of it as well. That's absolutely amazing.
It does take a bit of getting right, though, in terms of the pressure of the mattress.
How much pressure you want to put in it, and it's just a bit of trial and error on that account.
We've now started to pump it up quite hard, get up there, and then I lean over and just let a little bit of air out until you tell me to stop. So
the other thing, as a little
tip,
the
isotop helps in terms of it feeling cozy, though, and quiet.
I never ever sleep well on the first night away. I think it's just there's something in my brain that's going, this is different. So I don't know whether Pete would be into this kind of thing, but I buy myself one of the little pillow sprays. It's a neon one, or This Works, like a little lavender spray or something. It's lovely. But most definitely the bed upstairs. And treat yourself to taking proper bedding with you.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to do a video actually on all the bedding stuff, aren't we? But we've got a Is it a 4.5 tog duvet that we've
Four
got?
and a half
Yeah.
tog, nice cotton duvet.
Cotton
Couple
bed
of
set.
proper pillows and things. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's nice. It makes it really snug. We just got really annoyed with sleeping bags of them, scrunching up around you and twisting up and tangled up, and you can't put a foot out because you've got a zipper.
Yeah.
Hate them.
TR7 driver saying, looking to buy an Ocean. Insurance companies are looking for a tracker to be fitted. Any advice? Yes. What we'll do is no affiliation with any of these trackers or suppliers or anything like that. What we'll do afterwards, we'll try and put a comment into a website which lists loads of different trackers which are all insurance compliant. They're about 250 quid, something like that.
It's not bad. It's a lot cheaper than I thought it would be.
And then the annual premium for them is is it monthly $6.99 or annual? I can't remember now.
I'd imagine it was monthly.
Probably monthly, wasn't it? I think that usually they include the first year free as well. So I'll pop a link in the description below afterwards so you can have a look at that. Seat covers. Interestingly, yes, we have got some seat covers. We've got the waterproof Inca ones with the Ocean logo on. We bought them secondhand from someone. But actually, we tend not to use them in here at all, apart from if we're going mountain biking or something like that, where we know we might be muddy, like actually muddy, and then we'll just put them over the front seats, just slide them on. The reason that we bought these seats in particular, you
can't actually see because we've covered it in rugs.
But these are the Art Velours seats, which are it's kind of fake leather and kind of
fake Alcantara.
Yeah, fake. It's everything. Yeah,
fake. It's not fake.
Vegan.
Yes, we'll call it vegan.
COP26 climate.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah. Anyway, these are really hard wearing and very, very easy to clean. We've seen a picture on the Facebook group actually. I can't remember which one. One of the Cali Facebook groups this week, where somebody's trying to get some watermarks out of the normal seats, and they really are a nightmare. The normal seats. So if you can possibly stretch to these seats, don't think about it being I want it to look really posh and like a Passat or a posh car inside. It's more about how practical they are.
You're either going to buy the cloth and put seat covers on them, which is going to cost you money, or you're going to potentially
spend even more
on the upgrade. It swings and roundabouts, isn't
it? So that's that. Trackers, so we'll pop that in down below.
Will you tell the tech when you go for a service to only do halfway up dipstick?
I'll be asking them. I always get a bit wary about telling anybody at the garage to do anything, because usually in my experience they tend to do the exact opposite of what I ask. So I think I'll ask.
Query.
Yeah. Politely. But I have to say, Coventry, where we've got the van from, and had our T6 service there and some warranty bits on the T6 and everything, they've always been good. So and even down to putting things like a plastic wrap around your steering wheel and on the gear knob and everything, so just in case the tech's got a bit of oil on their hands or whatever, they really do take care of it. They really do. So I'm
it'll be fun. Do you use apps to find sites?
Sort of.
Sometimes. Use UK Campsite. That's one, isn't it?
Search for sites is good as well, especially for pub stopovers. I mean, you can buy the Britstops book, which gives you some pub stopovers and things, but quite a few of the ones that are in the Britstops book are also on Search for Sites. And it's the website Search number 4 sites.
Something like that.
Yeah. If you search for it on Google, you'll find it.
We've done a good few Britstops over the years, and none of them have ever asked us for the
That's not a reason not to buy the
sticker
book.
or anything. It's not a reason to buy the book. We did buy the book.
No, so not a reason not to buy the book.
Yeah.
You should buy the book.
We did buy the book
once. And then we found Search for Sites. And Search for Sites is just a place where whether it's a caravan and motorhome club site, whether it's a CL, whether it's a certified location, or whether it's a pub stopover or anything,
from Tranquil
all
Parks,
on there.
Sort of onwards,
but it's good though. Certainly worth a look. So if you're going somewhere new and you just want an easy stopover, Search for Sites, put it in there, tell you everything that's in the area. So definitely worth looking at. You'll be close to us. Does Lucy want to meet our Jones? So Marcus, certainly, first of all, thank you very much for the cushion that we bought for behind the seats, the bed extension thing. Great to meet you, and I hope you're having a lot of fun with your Ocean. Lovely ocean, by the way, two-tone and all very flash. Let's try and do something, and we can message. I know we've talked over WhatsApp and stuff, so pop me a message over, and then we can catch up, can't we? That'd be good. Yeah, enjoy that. And you can show me that drone actually, because we didn't get a chance to do that because it was too windy. So if the weather's good, I definitely want to have a look at that.
We choose our days, don't we?
Yeah.
Middle of December. Yeah, let's hope the weather's good.
I think there's a Christmas hint there.
Okay.
What else have we got in here then? Sorry, let's have a quick look through.
Bear lock, outstanding bit of kit.
Don't know anything about bear locks.
I need to do a bit of reading about those.
What?
Stops the wife from nicking the van. Oi! Not nice.
Bit of feedback. They want more chat and less silence during our trip videos. Yeah, it's really difficult on the trip videos because we take a lot of footage. When we get back, we sometimes think, oh, we should have talked about that bit, or we should have done a bit of a voiceover. One thing which we learned in the Outer Hebrides was using iPhones, which we were in the Outer Hebrides, to do a lot of the filming. It's really
the microphones are dreadful.
Yeah, awkward and frustrating using external microphones with the iPhone, unless you put it in like a big cage and everything else is just a pain. Whereas now we've got this new Sony camera with a decent video mic that actually, if one of us is using that in the van to video the other person, the audio quality is way better. So hopefully, yes, we can do a lot more of that
going forward. We've ended up there were a good few clips that we did in the Outer Hebrides where we'd be talking, and either the wind noise or just it was far too quiet, you just couldn't do anything with it, so it just ended up being a clip that you put music over, unfortunately.
Are you still happy you went for the 4Motion? Oh yes. Yeah, it feels like a luxury to us, doesn't it? Because when we had our previous van, the Whipsy the First, that was a 204 diesel 2-wheel drive, and that was absolutely on the limit of what we could afford, wasn't it? There was no way that we would have afforded a 4Motion at that point. However, having that van, I think we learned, didn't we, that all of that torque that you get in the 204 and back then the DSG box wasn't quite as smooth as it is now either. It's quite snatchy, and we just thought, actually, we live in a more rural place now, which does have some significant hills to get out of the village that we're in. So actually, with all-weather tyres and 4Motion, this is going to be really handy to have in the winter as well. So pulling away in this one with the 4Motion is much easier.
There's a few. We go down to Cornwall generally quite a lot, and there were a few junctions in the T6 that just scared us.
Yeah, it's very difficult in the wet.
Down by beaches when you're sort of trying to get out of a priority junction on a slope like that with sand on it, and you're just sitting there wheel spinning.
It was quite tricky.
For anybody else who knows Cornwall, Chiverton Cross roundabout in the wet. Oh.
And this van is more economical than the 204 two-wheel drive we had before, and that's measured as well. That's not just on the computer; that is measured. That's good. Alan's saying we don't see you in Guernsey. Hey, that sounds good. Yeah, fantastic. Drop us an email, contact@californiatime.co.uk, and we'd definitely love to do that. Yeah, without a doubt. Is there room for the porta potty at night when sleeping downstairs? Yes, there is.
Just. It depends how much space you want the dog to have.
But yes, there is. It's tight, but it is doable. Yeah. We're not going to do a demo.
No.
Anything you wish you'd had or hadn't changed on your spec?
One thing I can think of.
It's only 3 months old or something.
Yeah, but only one thing. And the important thing is that we can add it.
Ah, yes.
And the little extra drawer under the bench seat, kind of where Will's sitting at the moment.
Should have bought it.
We should have bought it as the options
The
list.
Outer Hebrides taught us that, didn't it? Because we need that for dog food.
Yeah. It was, well, you saw, we didn't exactly have the most favourable weather for the vast majority of the 2 weeks that we were there.
We kept the dog food in the boot.
Ridiculously.
So every time the dog needed feeding, I had to go and get wet.
Yeah.
First world problem.
It's a proper first. It does feel like a real wasted space, though, in terms of the boot.
It does.
And we used to keep our ramps there in the T6.
Yeah.
But that was a right pain in the backside because they kept moving slightly, and then you can't get the table out.
Away.
And you can't get your hand down there to try and move the ramps back out of the way. So you ended up opening the boot and emptying everything out of the boot to move the ramps over a little bit. So we don't keep the ramps there, but now it is properly a wasted space.
Yeah, so it's just an empty space now. So we've priced up all the bits to do it. We've seen on the VW California Club forum site that other people have fitted it. I think I know what I need. I think I've got a supplier lined up to sell it to us as well, which hopefully, actually, they've sent us a note saying that they want to try and do some discounts and things. I'm not going to talk about that company in particular in this video, but if we can sort that out, then hopefully they can supply Volkswagen parts at discounted prices as well, which, if that works, that's good. But we didn't start this channel to do free stuff or anything like that. So if it works, it works, but we'll see. But we are planning to fit that drawer, and we'll do it ourselves.
Yeah.
So we'll share that with you. What do you both do for a living? It's a fair question.
Oh God.
Well, I work in the NHS.
Yeah, he's the sainted. Works for the NHS. I'm a local plans manager, so I deal with planning. Sorry.
Do you deny people planning?
No, I don't anymore. I don't work in the development management section, so I neither approve nor refuse. But I'm in the policy side of things. So.
And I work for our local ambulance service. So, yeah, very proud of that.
Not with blue lights.
No, there's no blue lights on the Cali.
No blue lights on the Cali.
Unfortunately not. Problem with downstairs, you have trouble accessing the left cupboard with the bed down. Upstairs all the way. Yeah, I completely agree. I tend to get up an hour or so before you, don't I? And if we're sleeping downstairs, then I clatter about trying to make a cup of tea, squeezing into the cupboard and all sorts of it does annoy you.
If you're going to leave your bed out at all in the morning, then you need to have been getting stuff out of the cupboards before you put it out at night.
Ian Butterworth says, on your Hebridean trip, how did your VW Mosquito screens handle the midges?
We didn't even bother.
The midges were so small they would have flown straight through the holes in those fly screens. Absolutely useless for
the Mosquito. The midge hoods. They're so thin. It's like a pair of ladies' tights, essentially, is kind of how thin they are, and they are tiny, tiny, tiny little bugs. Horrible little things.
You didn't have great weather for your Hebridean trip. How did you manage your wet clothes and dog without an awning? Well, wet clothes we didn't really seem to have a problem with, did we? We just had
wet coats.
Yeah, wet coats, but again, put them in the back here and
wet
there.
Dog coat.
Wet dog coat. But what we tended to do in the Ocean, where you've got the rear air conditioning and the vents on the sides here, if you put things over the headrests at the back here and going around driving, as long as you've got the heat and the aircon on in the back, it dries things out really
quickly.
easily.
It's another bonus for having Art Velour seats, because then you're not worried about any water drips onto those either. So
no, it doesn't. They don't get any watermarks or anything. So,
and we were really lucky actually. There were a couple of sites that had drying rooms. So because there's obviously loads of cyclists and hikers and everybody around, so we could just go and hang up some bits and bobs in those that were nice and warm and dry. So that was handy.
Yeah. Pete says, thanks, I was really struggling to get the Sea to Summit mattress. I'm really sorry, or we're really sorry about the fact that we keep reviewing stuff which you then can't buy anywhere.
It's all your fault.
we bought our Sea to Summit mattress second hand. Obviously just managed to find one that was for sale. The side awnings and things from Outwell seem to sell out straight away. I mean, the Sea to Summit mattress, I'm sure, will be coming back in stock. It's going to be on a boat, probably on the sea somewhere, waiting to get through the Suez Canal with everything else at the moment. So it'll be back, I'm sure. I'm sorry we keep reviewing stuff which we really like and then share it with you and you can't buy it. I'm sure you'll find it in due course. Loving the lights. Yeah, these little lights behind us are little campervan lights.
The little T1s.
Yeah, the little are they T1s?
Yeah,
oh, yeah, they are.
T1s.
Splitties, and we got those from a show, didn't we?
Busfest.
Box. Yeah, it's a box.
Busfest.
And these cotton ball lights on the side here are from Cable and Cotton.
Cable and Cotton, yeah.
Yeah. You did a video.
I did
on
do
those,
a video on those.
Yeah. Have you sorted the problem with the dog falling down the step, and if so, how? No, she keeps doing it,
it's
and
bizarre.
I keep pulling her out of it.
She never did it once in the T6.
Stupid
and
dog.
She knew like, the van, like as soon as we brought it home, she just hopped straight in and she was happy. But for now, she seems to keep it's not when we're driving around. Usually, it'll be when we're sitting in here. So she's begging or not concentrating, and then her back end just falls off the steps, even pulling her back up again.
Eamon says, can we start again? I've missed everything. Well, this does actually go on the channel. So if you do want to watch us rambling along and answering questions, you can do that.
David Dower, I'm very jealous. He has the drawer.
Oh, there's always one, isn't there, who's ordered the drawer. Thought ahead, you see. And we're meant to be the veterans of having a Cali before.
I think we did quite well with the spec. I think we did. When that's the only thing that we can think of that we missed.
There's another one. Look.
I ordered that and the electric door.
So you're going to be the one on the campsite with the beeping, are you?
He desperately wanted the electric door.
I really wanted the electric door.
But I think we probably would have ended up having had that removed from our spec because I think it would have been a problem anyway.
It adds weight, and
we were lucky. We just got away with what we ordered.
Andy Bikevid says we want the extra drawer.
Yay!
I should do a poll, shouldn't I? Who's got the drawer and who wants the drawer and who's not fussed the drawer?
Who didn't even know about the drawer?
Yeah. Hi from Germany. Hello. We've noticed actually there is quite a few Germans who watch the channel, isn't there? I'm assuming that either you speak great English, and we're really awful at speaking other languages in this country.
My German is particularly atrocious.
Yeah. You'd have to bring one of your friends along who's fluent. Yeah. But we do understand that the titling is really good. So the translation on YouTube, when you put the titles on the bottom, it's meant to be very good. Love your videos. What's a really good time for a trip to Scotland? Good question, because when the weather's nice, you get midges. And if you go out of season, the weather's a bit more variable and you don't get much daylight. So, don't know really.
Basically, I don't know. I really fancy doing the NC 500. And I think a reasonable time to do that would probably be something like end of March, beginning of May. Nice amount of daylight on it, not too full of tourists because you're not in the school holidays. Midges.
If it's windy, if it's bright and windy, you're fine.
It doesn't even need to be that windy. It just needs to be a slight breeze. It's when you've got a really still day. They just come along in swarms. Yeah, and they like rise from the ground like a big cloud.
Let's not dwell on that. It's making me feel itchy. What was the time frame from going into build to actual delivery to the dealer?
I think it went into build on something like the 1st of May. Ours did, because I think that was the day I got my first COVID jab as well.
Right.
It sort of all happened at the same time.
And so that was build. When did we pick it up then?
Was it something like 21st of July?
No, it was never that long.
Yeah, it was. Because it sat for ages in build, didn't it?
That is not what Lawrence is going to want to hear, is it? He's going to want to hear it took 2 weeks.
It's meant to be.
But
it's meant to be about 6 to 8 weeks. But it was a lot. I remember you kept going on the VW chat, and they just kept saying the poor chap on VW chat.
Every day.
Literally every day. Right. Any change? No. Speak to your dealer.
But ours did get stuck for a couple of weeks extra, though, didn't it? Because of part supply issues and things.
Something to do with the tow bar, I think.
Yeah. So 6 weeks, maybe, is probably a good estimate.
Yeah.
Something like that. But you can quick tip. You can ask the online chat person which boat it's on when you get to that.
When you want to be really sad.
And then you can go on to Vessel Finder or whatever it's called on the web. Ship Finder. Put the boat in and you can watch it moving along.
I just went into Grimsby.
It did. And we saw it go all the way in, didn't we?
Well, you say saw it. We saw a little kind of ship-shaped yellow blob on a map.
And depending on where it's going into, you might be able to look at a webcam live of the port of your ship going in with your Cali on.
Car.
So definitely worth checking out. So yes, we've got the heated windscreen. Yes, it is expensive. Is it worth it? Yes.
I wasn't particularly fussed about it. It was the
best. If you've got it, you enjoy it. If you haven't got it, you might not miss it. And by that, what I mean is if you've been out walking in the rain or something like that, you get back in the van, you know what happens, your windscreen mess up. You can sit there with the engine on and the aircon on and everything else, and it will clear it in 5 minutes or whatever. If you put the heated windscreen on, it clears it in a minute. So that's it really. And obviously, if there's ice on the outside and things, if you're using the van all year round, that's quite helpful.
And if we've been really lazy because the weather's been atrocious and we've decided not to put the external windscreen cover on because we've just hunkered down.
Yeah.
So the van's steamed up a bit on the inside,
if
essentially.
If you use the blinds inside and it's steamed up on the inside again, it's really handy for getting rid of that. High beam assist, definitely. We're just used to having cars with automatic high beam. It's not very expensive as an option. It's 100% better than the Tesla one. We've got a Tesla Model 3 as our kind of day-to-day car. That is useless. The automatic wipers on the Tesla are useless. The high beam is useless. The adaptive cruise control is useless.
So it's not useless.
It does an emergency stop when something comes in the other direction.
It gets a bit panicked by lorries.
So, you know, as much as I love the Tesla, this van and the tech on this van, in terms of normal driving tech, so high beam, cruise, the adaptive cruise, and all of that stuff works brilliantly. So yeah, for whatever it is, 100 quid, 150 quid, I think it is for automatic high beam. Treat yourself. It's a good luxury, definitely.
We've got YouTube royalty has joined us. Hello, Abab.
And they haven't got the drawer either. No, but you've got a beach though.
You've got an uber big bed.
Yeah. We should do a bow or something, shouldn't we? I feel slightly embarrassed that they're watching. I feel gone all nervous. I feel kind of hot now.
You've gone up in the sweat.
Yeah. Crikey, even my dad's joined now. Look.
Oh, crikey.
God. Maybe this is very poor. Oh, okay. So David reckons the main beam assist really poor. Compared to the Volvo. Well, in that case, I'd love to try a Volvo one because, or you should have a go in a Tesla at some point because then you'll definitely know what poor looks like. I should stop talking about that, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
What's your view on the mileage? What's your view on mileage on the van? I've owned an Ocean for just over a month from new, and it's now got 1,300 miles on. And I'm panicking. I had too many miles. We've got a 10,000 mile a year contract on ours. Our aim is to try and use all of those miles. We don't see why not, and we're paying for them. We've seen plenty of Calis for sale with 60, 70, 80,000 miles on. And actually, my view on mileage on vehicles is it's quite a good thing to use them regularly. We try to to go out at least once a week in the Cali, even if we're working from home. Or
I think it's all down to how you treat them.
Yeah.
To be honest, if it's serviced correctly, if it's maintained properly, if things are replaced when they wear out, it's not really a problem. In our opinion, anyway.
So, no midges in May or June, and none on the East Coast. Definitely true on the East Coast.
Yes.
Yep, none on the East Coast. Great to know that there's not any in May or June, though. So, NC 500, May or June.
Yep.
Noted. Thank you for that.
That's probably just pushed Guernsey along in the year slightly, unfortunately.
Marcus has got the drawer. Oh, crikey. We definitely started something with the drawer, haven't we? Jill's got the drawer, storage net in the roof. Yeah, so the option with the drawer, you get the net in the roof as well, don't you?
I don't know, do you? Why on earth did they link those two together?
Storage.
It's a bit random.
Storage. Eamon got rid of the cycle rack and ordered the electric door instead. Now he's going to order the tow hook cycle rack on our recommendation. Oh, God, hope you like it. No, it should be fine. It should be fine. We found it's, well, the best solution for us, isn't it? It seems to work well. Lawrence has checked every day on Volkswagen Chat. Yeah, it's good when you get on first name terms and you realise what their shift patterns are, isn't it? Because if you make a little spreadsheet, you can figure out who's going to be on when, and then play a little game with yourself on trying to get it right.
Because poor chap called Luke, who you
you
kept annoying, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he's been there a while actually, because our T6, when that was on order, there was a load of emission scandal stuff at the time which delayed that, and Luke was on the chat.
He was, yeah.
Yeah, he's a long-standing member of staff. Is Luke, yeah. Big shout out to Luke if you're watching. What else we got here?
Just ordered our Cedar Summit on Amazon, due 8th of November.
Oh, so big tip there.
Cue a rush on Amazon.
Yeah, after this, everyone's going to be on Amazon. They'll be sold out. What do you think of the 6.1 control panel? I think I preferred the 6 version. Well,
I'm on the fence. I liked the simplicity of the T6 one, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't like the fact that the light seems to be always on.
Yes.
Yeah, that just stays on. if you're in camping mode and you've got the fridge on and things like that, even in the middle of the night, you've just got this light.
I've got a bit of a love-hate relationship with this new control panel. I really like the leveling gauge.
No, you couldn't guess that.
The ability, I thought it was going to be a bit, why do you need that? But the ability to turn the lights on and off from the control panel when you're driving along, or if you've forgotten, is quite nice because you can turn all the lights off. But
the thing is, I don't seem to remember that being a problem in the T6 though.
Maybe it's because they've got a mind of their own.
They really do seem to have a bit of a mind of their own. It's a bit of a kind of roulette as to what on earth happens with the lights, to be honest.
It seems unnecessary, let's be honest.
It seems a little bit flash.
It does work though. It does work.
We shall see how reliable it is.
Is the Cali in daily use, or do you both have cars? If not daily, why don't you just get a bigger? Why not get a bigger van? Good question. So I've obviously got the Tesla. We have got a aged Discovery 3 as well, called Pete, and that's for another video. If we just nip into the shops or something, we'll go in the Tesla or we'll go in Pete. If we're going on long journeys, we tend to take the Cali. Because it's just super comfortable.
It's great for the dog.
It's great for the dog with all the space and water and
better fuel economy.
Than so Pete. It's quite nice for that.
Yeah, it's really nice that when you go to one of the motorway services, you can just actually pull up and make your own cup of tea rather than paying £3 something,
which is
or whatever.
Really good.
I'm not a fan of UK motorway services. They're not particularly pleasant.
I think with the right tyres on this, so some all-weather tyres, we probably could replace Pete, our Discovery, with this, because we don't go across fields and that kind of stuff with Pete. It's just really nice.
I like Pete.
Yeah.
He's a member of the family.
Got us through lockdown, did Pete?
He did.
Yeah. Did you guys add the rear diff lock? No, we didn't. I added it, but not sure if really necessary. Watched a few videos, convinced myself. We didn't, and if you watch some of the ABAB videos, you'll see that they're a bit more adventurous than us when it comes to going off-road or finding dirt tracks or going into forests and all those kind of things, which I think those are the kind of places where a diff lock might be handy, because you know, if you were starting to get a bit stuck, I think you might need it. For us, we wanted the 4Motion more for maybe a tiny bit of snow in the winter, and pulling out of junctions, just general smoother driving, didn't we? So wasn't really necessary for us. If we were going proper like overlanding and stuff, then that's a whole different ball game. So it's different wheels, probably different shocks and suspension, and you could go to town on it. But we didn't buy the Cali for that, or the 4Motion for that. So no.
Lizzie knows the pain of watching somebody track boats with cars on board.
Ah, yes. I think to remember.
Share your pain.
Yeah, you'll have to tell me how your Tesla's doing, because I suspect that you've done exactly the same as me. Really love the videos. Thank you very much. That's very kind. Can you advise? Do you find it okay in the California not having a bathroom? It's the only thing that concerns me compared to a larger campervan. Well, it is a compromise. Yeah. I mean, you can obviously have a T6.1 or a T6 with a bathroom, sort of. Some of the Westphalia ones have got rear bathrooms and a kind of opposite. The roof opens the opposite way. They've got a shower and a toilet and everything else.
I think they look like peacocks. It's kind of like they're showing off their tail when they put the roof up because it goes up at the back.
Right. Okay. So do we find it a problem? Not really. Are there times when we're out and about and we either see a Cali Grand or we see another van, which is like a Ducato based van or something like that, and think that would be nice? Yes, we do.
It's just compromise. I mean, we love this for the fact that you can park it in a normal car parking space, and it's really convenient like that, and it's got everything in it that we need. Yeah. Not having a bigger van does push you into having to use campsites if you're doing anything more than one night, really. Yeah. But to be honest, you can't wild camp in England and Wales anyway, so you're probably going to end up staying at campsites if you're doing anything, unless you're just doing Brit stops and pub stops and things like that all of the time. So it swings and roundabouts. I think if we were a bit older, and we had a bit more time on our hands, that's probably what we would do. And we'd go and spend a lot more time up in Scotland or something where you can just wild camp and spend a bit more time and go for more days out, and the convenience then of being able to walk through from the cab as well when it's chucking it down with rain or just a bit nasty outside. Because that's the only issue here. You have to get out to come and get back in again.
We do, yeah. Just looking to see what else we got on here. Lots of people arguing amongst themselves about the net and everything else, which is that's the beauty of these things.
Net in the roof is useless.
I mean, if it works for you, it's great, and other people it might not do. So that's great how we can.
And stuff in it. I must admit, we ditched our travel pillows upstairs because you're just permanently terrified of them falling down the big hole. So that's why we've ended up with normal sized pillows now.
Catherine says, do you worry about electric vehicle coming out after spending so much or the value dropping? I presume you mean an electric Cali, like an ID Buzz or something like that. Not really, no. We've got this Cali on a 4-year PCP, which means that at the end of 4 years, we can give it back, we can sell it. We don't enter these PCPs with an assumption that at the end of the 4 years we're going to have any equity in it at all. So, and on the basis that we're always pleasantly surprised when we do get to the end, and we have got some. So for us, this is a 4-year proposition for us in terms of having the van, and at any point through that we might choose to change it, or we might assess.
The risk in terms of it being a diesel, therefore there lies with the finance company. Not our problem in 4 years' time.
And what we've seen in terms of low emission zones and all of the ULEZs and all of those kind of things, they tend to implement ULEZs, which means that you have to pay to go in them. It doesn't mean that you can't go in them. It just means that you have to pay. And if we were going to go to Paris, or we were going to go to somewhere which is like a huge metropolitan area, London, etc., in the future, because obviously this van is compliant with all of the ULEZs at the moment. If in the future it wasn't and we had to pay, I think in our minds, well, you just add that to the cost of the holiday then, don't you? So I think obviously in a 20 years, 30 years, is it still going to be on the road? Is it going to be allowed to be on the road? Who knows? I think from everything I've seen though of the ID Buzz, which is the small camper, electric camper based on the Volkswagen MEB platform, which is the same as the ID3 and ID4, is it going to be big enough? I don't know. Might be nice as a day van, but I'm not sure I'm going to spend 40-50 grand on a day van which is smaller than a Cali. It seems a bit tricky, that one. So I don't know.
See.
We'll see. Technology's coming on all the time. Pete says, don't sell Pete. A Pete is for life. Damn right. Yeah, absolutely agree with that. Any software issues with the control panel, especially used to the heater? Did it crash? So no,
we haven't got any wood. Need to touch some wood. We can't cut.
No, this is wood.
Oh yeah, wooden stool. There we go.
So the heater has been perfect. There was a couple of times when we were away in the Outer Hebrides where the fridge had
randomly turned itself off.
It was off.
Yeah.
And I don't remember switching it off. You don't remember switching it off. But then
maybe Lucy switched it off.
But then for the last 5 days, solid, it didn't go off at all, and it hasn't gone off since, has it? But I don't know.
I wondered whether it was some like Vw Voodoo or something. Well, like they sent a software update down.
We did have a couple of software updates for the infotainment over the air, didn't we?
So
which flashes the wing mirrors and does stuff. So that might have switched it off and we just didn't notice.
I like Vw Voodoo.
Right, okay. So that's all been fine. We have had the SOS button weird kind of SOS system error thing only ever on our driveway at home. And we do have particularly poor mobile signal here. So we've always put it down to can't get any mobile phone signal, therefore it flashes up an error. Outer Hebrides had amazing mobile phone signal, by the way, like stunning, really good 4G as well everywhere. Didn't have any issues with the SOS button at all. As soon as we got home on the driveway,
bing,
you turn it off, turn it back on again, it goes away. I'll mention it when we have a service, but I'm not taking it in just for that. So that's that. But no, it definitely hasn't crashed. One campsite ever, wild camping, both England, no issues. Really enjoyed your Hebrides trip. Have you got any plans to head to Europe with your Cali? Yes, we have. It's the dog, isn't it? She's 15 and a half. And with all of the I suppose, variability over the COVID situation at the moment. But obviously, we would take, so we don't want to leave the dog here. We definitely want to take her with us, which means sorting out the pet passport and the vaccination stuff and everything else.
Which is obviously
and
a fair lead into,
which is, a bit of a
doing,
lead
and a
into
lot of
it.
cost to do it.
Yeah, which then means we've got to be sure that the borders and everything are going to be open and we're going to be able to get back and everything else. So it feels a bit variable at the moment. I think as soon as everything feels like it's really settled, then yes, we'd do it, definitely. We went to Europe in the T6, didn't we? Had a great time, went to the factory.
We'd only had it about 6 weeks or something at the time when we did, didn't we? We went and did Hanover, went to the factory,
went to
back
Amsterdam.
through Amsterdam.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It was great.
Yeah.
Loved it.
But really, really keen to get back down to Switzerland, go over the Alps and everything else. So yeah, really, really keen to do that. Definitely. Went upstairs. You closed the tambour door. No, it stopped sending pillow drop out.
No, we haven't found that we've needed to since we ditched the mini travel pillows.
Yeah, I still wake up in a panic in the middle of the night thinking a pillow's about to disappear though. In a cold sweat.
Lucy will get a pillow land on her head.
Yeah. But no, we don't. I think you're worried about forgetting in the morning, aren't you? And just kind of leaning over and smashing through it downstairs.
Swing my legs over and boom.
What are your arrangements for Wi-Fi whilst wild camping? We've got a shared EE 4G plan between us, haven't we? With unlimited data. So we just tether off our phones for that.
I get handed data if I ask him for it.
Yeah, if you've been greedy.
Help, I need data.
If you've been greedy, I'll let you have some of my unlimited plan. No, we share it.
And we use tethering onto an iPad
fine.
Or a laptop or something.
Yeah.
What we are looking at getting is one of the little projectors so that we can project onto the...
That'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
As you say, all the up there.
Yeah.
Need to get saving or look out for Black Friday deals on that one, I think.
We definitely do. We have the T6.1 and had the fridge turning off at random times as well. Good. Glad it's not just us then. So yeah, it's obviously a gremlin.
That was me thinking it was Lucy.
A little paw.
I'll just that'll teach him.
He's probably breathed on it. It's her breath.
Don't be nasty.
Do you fancy adding solar panels and an inverter for more off-grid stuff? We've thought about it. There's some fantastic kits, aren't there, for the Cali, which bolt into the rails, which are in the top of the roof. I can't say we've ever had a problem, though, in terms of battery capacity, have we? I think with the 2 batteries that you get on the ocean, or leisure batteries you get on the ocean.
We've done 2 nights on a site before without hookup, haven't we?
Yeah.
And that's fine.
We can't stay in the same place for very long, you see. We're very...
we're nomadic when we
That's one word for it, yeah. I don't know, restless, yeah. So it's so rare that we would ever be stationary in it for more than 24 hours. So if you drive around, obviously the charge up anyway, and you can select max charge on the panel, which you couldn't do on the last one, actually, on the T6. So that is a good thing on the 6.1. You can select max charge and it just charges it up anyway, doesn't it? So I don't know, it doesn't I don't think we really need it, do we?
No.
It'd be nice, but I don't think we really need it.
Can think of other things to spend the money on.
SOS have the same issue. Just turning the ignition off and back on again, it goes away. Yeah, it's another one of those weird oddities, isn't it? Catherine, really enjoying the channel. Thank you very much. Do you replace the water every trip? No, but we tend to boil the water. We don't tend to drink cold water from the tap. We tend to either cook with it or boil a kettle, which obviously if there's any slight nasties or whatever, that will get rid of that because we're boiling it.
We do tend to empty it out before it starts getting really cold over winter, though, because you don't want to have frozen water in the tank.
No. The inside the van is definitely warmer than outside pretty consistently. But we've never had anything freeze in here, have we?
Not yet. Touch some more wood.
No. But we have slept in below zero, haven't we?
Yeah, we have done snow.
Yeah. Not in this one, but in the T6. No, in Reggie.
In Reggie?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a story.
That's a Reggie. Oh, yeah, that's a story. So no issues with the fridge. 18 days. NC500 stayed on all the time, setting 2 or 3. Yeah, strange. It is.
VW Voodoo.
And Fiona says, have you had an update to your Sat Nav? Don't know actually about the Sat Nav itself. We've certainly had updates to the infotainment system. They just keep coming like one after another after another. Don't know about the maps though. I'd have to have a look and see whether they've changed. I couldn't, mind you, I'm not sure what they were originally.
Our opinion on the VW Sat Nav is it is a little bit rubbish. We do have a tendency now just to use CarPlay and plug the phone in, or do the phone over Wi-Fi, and find Google Maps a lot better. Yeah, to be honest.
Does the fact that you're leasing influence the extras you will now add to the van, like the extra door in the ski hatch? Will you remove it when the van goes back? Maybe. I mean, PCP is different to leasing. Leasing, I think you've got to be a bit more careful about alterations and things. PCP, I'm certainly not worried about the PCP and adding things like a drawer or some vinyls or, you know, that kind of stuff. Would we take it out when we sell it? Probably depends.
It depends, doesn't it? I mean, if you're literally just part-Xing it,
take it out.
Then you take it out. You take everything out that you possibly can. I think
if we sell it privately, then
depends what the deal is, doesn't it? Really,
part and parcel of it. Yeah. So we'll see. PCP factory option must stay. Dealer fitted option can be removed. I mean that's you see, like, would you rather have nipples all over your body or little toes all over your body? Nipples, of course.
Why is that so easy to choose?
You don't want toes all over your body, do you? Do you?
Probably you don't want either, do you? Where's that come from?
They've got a strange sense of humour.
Very odd, yeah.
You still haven't answered the question.
I haven't. I'd probably go the same as you.
Nipples.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. That's all right then. It'd be a very nipply family. Mind you, the dog's covered in nipples.
Kind of. Yeah. She's got more warts though.
Has she got more warts than nipples?
I think
this has taken a weird
15-and-a-half-year-old dog.
It's taken a weird turn.
Lumps and bumps.
Right. We said we'd do this for about an hour.
We've missed one. What's the meaning of your registration plate? Well,
good question.
We have we've been going down to Cornwall for as long as we've had Lucy, because it was the first time we stopped ever going abroad on holiday. So it was, you know, where can we take the dog?
That dog has got a lot to answer for.
Let's go to Cornwall. Everybody says it's nice. We've never been to Cornwall. Let's go. And we've never looked back. And we've been down there many times over the years. And Whipsey is the short name for Whipsidery, which is our favourite beach there, which is next to Watergate Bay towards Newquay. And when the tide is out fully, you can walk from Whipsidery Beach all the way over to Watergate Bay. And it's absolutely stunning. And the view from the top of the cliffs down to it, regardless of whether the tide's in or out, is amazing. And it's one of my favourite places on earth. So it just seemed like we spent a bit of time thinking about what do we name the van, and our first T6 was silver, and we were thinking, do we call it after its colour or something like that? And then the name Whipsey just stuck, and that's what the locals know Whipsidery Beach as, is Whipsey.
That's right. So there's one here which is, do you know what the gas sticker is for on the back? Yep, that's for German gas testing compliance. So when the vans are built in the factory, they're gas tested, so leak tested, and then that's a certification for Germany. It means nothing in this country. You can take it off if you don't want it on there. I don't know. We left it on the last one, didn't we? We've left it on this one. That's what it's for. They told us that when we went to the factory and had a chat with them, because we saw them doing it.
Well, we also had an amazing drive around the factory in a convertible T5.
Yeah. It was
basically chopped the roof.
It was a T5 shuttle, which we were told that some apprentices were tasked with turning it into like a taxi for inside the factory, and they'd lopped the top off. So it was a convertible T5 shuttle, brilliant. 9-seater or something. It was brilliant. Yeah. We weren't allowed to take any photos though. That's the problem. Mean. Sat Nav takes you down lanes that are not very suitable. Yeah, I completely agree. It's rubbish, isn't it? We just use Google Maps using Apple CarPlay, and tend to use that much better. James Parry, what is day jobs? Have a look at the start of the stream, because we talked about that
about 10 minutes in,
bit earlier on. Yeah, German regulations. You're right. Remove the sticker when it was wrapped. Yeah, you wouldn't put it back on, would you? And have you seen that?
Having a VW in Campershire? Yes, I've liked the Facebook page. I
Oh, are
don't know.
they?
Yeah.
Oh, I
I
haven't
told
seen
you
that.
about it.
Did you?
Yeah. That was obviously a day he was listening.
It's the first time in years. Yeah.
We might have to
Really-
persuade my mum and dad to look after Lucy, mightn't we?
Well, we're going to have to go to that.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so good when we went, wasn't it?
But I doubt it's going to be a factory tour, is it? It's a
Well,
show at the factory. I think it's like their massive sort of car park and conference centre or something that they're holding to. But it'd be great.
I mean, there's a shop and everything at the factory, isn't there? Which has got like just wall to wall Volkswagen bus stuff.
Tiny little room in the context of how humongously large the factory is. That's basically a city, and then you've got this little corner shop that's crammed full of Volkswagen goodies.
Well, we even had currywurst, didn't we?
We did. They took us to the staff canteen.
The staff canteen. It was really good. Really
if you
good.
can get on a factory tour at any point in the future, do it.
Right. We've just ticked over an hour, so let's
start
do
to
the last couple, because
Okay.
I'm sure you guys have got something much better to be doing than watching us ramble on. Right, last couple then. We love the bin that's molded to the corner. Yeah, brilliant, isn't it? I mean, so simple. Why somebody in this country hasn't made one of these yet, I don't know.
We drove all the way to Amsterdam to
yeah,
get that.
I had to go to Amsterdam for that. They will ship internationally. Camper Centrum in Amsterdam. Have a look at the website. Honestly, if you're ever in Amsterdam, just go there. It is amazing. Everything California, wall to wall. It's one hell of a place.
Like a child in a sweet shop.
Westphalia as well, but absolutely.
Brilliant.
Or Westphalia, whichever.
Yeah. Or
tomato.
Westphalia.
Westphalia. I don't know.
W.
So yeah, definitely worth looking at. Camper Jam. We went to Camper Jam in 2018, didn't we? So yes, quite possibly. Yeah, quite possibly. We're going to try and get to a few shows next year.
Really, really want to go back to Busfest. Love Busfest.
Busfest, great.
Missed it this year.
Camper shows sound great. Organising a driving trip convoy. Okay. That's a bit like a live stream, a bit nervous. Yeah, I'm sure we could do something.
Yeah.
Just got my new photo license back for the DVA. C1 has dropped off. C1 is dropped off. Oh, I'd definitely be talking to them. Yeah, you and a Bus and Beyond go and do a live from the show. Well, there's a
joint live stream.
Yeah, we could certainly do that. Are you guys going to the NEC? Yes. So we registered on the press site for the show to try and get as much info as we can as well. So don't know what you guys are looking at doing, but if you're there on a press day and then on a normal day or whatever, then yeah, let's hook up and grab a coffee and stuff. That'd be good. And
yes, it is Camper Centrum, Amersfoort.
Yep.
Yes, kind of near Amsterdam.
Yeah, sorry, it's a suburb of Amsterdam. Yeah, but good campsite, Camping Zeeburg. If you're going to Amsterdam, near a tram, which you can go straight into the centre, or if you're brave, you can cycle. In the same
you
lanes,
really do need to be brave. It is quite terrifying cycling around Amsterdam. They take no prisoners.
Yeah. And they share the lanes with up to 50cc cars and mopeds.
Yeah.
Which is very terrifying.
Really terrifying.
I've never seen a little tiny mini car in a cycle lane.
It's like a massive mobility scooter.
Well, it's a one-seater little. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
And absolutely, it could be a live stream full of would you rather.
Oh gosh.
Oh no. Right. Well, we're gonna have to get our thinking caps on then. If we're gonna play that game, we can tussle on that.
Try.
Well, I've got a feeling that they're going to be more experienced than the would you rather's.
Yeah.
However, I will lay down a challenge. So you know the Van Gogh Hexaway challenge, which you did, Sean, with the pump. I will challenge you on that.
Or whatever blow up warning they're doing the challenge on at the show next time.
Yeah, definitely lay down that challenge.
Better get practicing, Will.
So I think that needs to bring us to a conclusion, doesn't it? Really, crikey.
Does,
Wow.
Yeah.
First live stream then.
Hour
I think.
4.
Yeah, that feels hopefully like it's been useful. And actually, I've really loved this. It feels very, very odd, though, I have to say, just talking to a camera, reading some questions, talking to a camera.
Yeah,
repeat.
I'm used to spending my life on Teams So
Yeah.
seeing myself on a little
Seeing
sort of
somebody
postage
wave.
stamp and having to put a little hand up to want to speak
Or-
rather than or a hands up across the screen.
So yeah, no, been really, really great to share an hour with you guys, and yeah, it's something different. It's not us just being lazy and not wanting to do a video. So it's good to interact, good to hear what you like, and great to see that you like the site and the videos. So, yeah. So I think,
is that it for California time?
We'll see you again soon.
Good evening,
Thanks.
all.
Thanks for
Bye.
tuning in. See you later.